Welcome to Computer Talk's Pharmacy Forward video series. I'm Maggie Lockwood, Director of Production at Computer Talk, and in this three-part program, I moderate a panel discussion with Blair Thielemier, Pharm.D, founder of the PharmapreneurAcademy, and Heidi Polek, Strategic Program Manager at DrFirst. We are going to look at the topic, the road ahead, how pharmacy can move from a dispensing-based model to a clinically based one. Blair and Heidi give excellent coaching around implementing pharmacist-inspired programs and how best to use your pharmacy system and communication tools to collaborate with providers and connect with the community. In part one, we will talk about preparing for the journey away from the traditional dispensing model by keying in on topics and trends that are of personal interest. In the second segment, we work through an example of turning a passion into a unique clinical offering. And in the final segment, we talk about building your team as well as implementing technology that support your vision. Both Blair and Heidi are happy to answer any questions, and their contact information is available at the end of the program.
I mean, Blair, when you talk to the pharmacists when they start their new, how do they approach the technology, and what do you recommend they do as well?
Yeah, so I think first you like to use Heidi's example. So as a runner, I love that idea because it's such a simple idea that people are going to GNC and getting supplements to help them, be able to run, endurance or recover more quickly or take their protein or whatever. Imagine if they were able to go to a pharmacy and get this same type of care. I mean, you're probably, I would say most pharmacies are a lot more knowledgeable than someone working at a GNC about how to use protein recovery, supplements that help with joint health. I mean, obviously glucosamine and chondroitin if people are having running injuries. So just using that as an example. So how would a pharmacist implement that type of program and use a technology platform like DrFirst to start seeing patients? Well, first, point of care testing even that pharmacies can do that don't require a physician order. And a lot of pharmacists, and it depends state to state, but a lot of pharmacists actually qualify for ordering some of these lab tests. So I get super excited when I hear ideas like this because, so Heidi wants to, create a group coaching telehealth program for athletes that want to recover from races more quickly to avoid injury. She creates some messaging around that. She puts it out. Maybe it's on Facebook, getting in front of some local runners. I know, really putting it out there, what she's using. So this is something that pharmacists aren't always encouraged to do, which is talk about our personal journeys, our personal health journeys. This is my meditation regimen. This is my exercise regimen. This is my vitamin and supplement regimen. This is my plant-based lunch that I'm eating today. Like, it sounds weird that, and from an influencer standpoint, that's really what we need to be, is we need to show people, instead of just telling someone how to be healthier, we need to show them what we're capable of by doing it for ourselves. And so I would encourage, like, if Heidi was going to create this group, start putting it out there and putting some feelers out. Who wants to be a part of this group? We're putting it together, deadline to sign up is end of January. And then you can run the group program through the DrFirst platform, especially with telehealth group. You might have a private meeting with them. Maybe you meet up to run together on, Sunday afternoons. Like, the sky is the limit. Like, do something that you're actually passionate about, not just something that you think, oh, I'm going to do diabetes because everyone, does diabetes and it's like the most prevalent and it's the thing that's expected of me. When I say think like a pharmapreneur, I mean, think outside of the box of what you would expect a normal pharmacy or a normal pharmacist to do, and offer the thing that you're really passionate about. Because,
well, and I think in that point too of serving the community, I feel like most pharmacists are very involved with their community, and this gives you another opportunity to do it in something that you're interested in, perhaps not just I mean, contributing to scholarships and helping with local events. But I think what you're talking about is even taking it a step further and saying, I'm going to offer programs that I'm interested in, something I'm interested in that would also be very beneficial to the community. We have these things we're supposed to do as pharmacists, and that's something I'm just interested in personally. But you're saying it's okay, and even a great opportunity to combine the two, to take it.
It makes it more rich. It makes it more real, because that's who Heidi is. She identifies as a runner and as a pharmacist. And I mean, even the marketing possibilities for a program just like that, just off the top of my head. I mean, go to a 5K and set up your pharmacy tent and hand out like post-workout supplements. Like, if you're a pharmacy owner and you're into running, use that as part of your marketing strategy. Get really creative with your marketing. And then with technology, we've even seen pharmacies that are like, hey, there's no one in my area who is doing this. So, we're going to expand statewide and offer this, athletic recovery group in the whole state of Nevada, so that anyone can come in and learn. The people I work with, they're doing online courses, they're doing membership sites, they're doing, group coaching, and it's just, the sky is the limit when you learn to leverage technology and you combine it with something that you're passionate about. It's not hard to be an influencer if it's something that you're like, I get to talk about this every single day and I get paid for it. And It's great for the bottom line of my business.
Well, and I think, so the pharmacists who are afraid of change are going, whoa, Nellie. So I think one of the things that we want to talk about here, which I think, Heidi, I wanted to ask you first is, we're talking about data, we're talking about information, we're talking about relationships. So this is going to change how you work in your pharmacy and how you train your staff.
Right.
So from a workflow standpoint, what is that, what are some ways to not let that get in your way of trying out?
I think ensuring that you're on the most up-to-date version of your software certainly is super important, because as the software companies continue to iterate their software, they're adding features and functions that will streamline workflow. DrFirst has some AI technology that's improving workflow. So we're reducing clicks and keystrokes. So we're making people more efficient. But they're adding billing features. They're adding scheduling features. So, I know sometimes they upcharge you for features like that, but it's okay. You got to spend a little to make a little, right? You got to spend a little to get a little bit more efficient. I say we do this all the time in our real lives. We go out and we buy the newest car, even though our particular car still works. Well, I just went and got a new iPhone, even though my old iPhone worked. So do the same with your work technology. Make sure it's as up to date as possible, because they're constantly helping to streamline your workflow. So get your workflow as streamlined as possible. And, typically in smaller independent pharmacies, it's not a job, it's a family, it's a business. Everybody's all on board with doing things for the community. So, just talk to your staff, get them to each participate. Your cashier that greets the customers at the pickup window or the drive-through window, if you have one, they can help promote your running stuff. You're probably even got some runners on staff there too. So just get everybody's buy-in and help them understand, how this is going to help the business, how it's going to help the community. It's really great when you can get everybody on board, and it's really easy to do, especially in these smaller family-owned businesses. There are small employers that, would love to have a pharmacist come into their business and help increase wellness, right? Because these are small self-insured businesses trying to keep their premiums down. So it'd be great to, go in and visit some of your small employers to see if you can create a wellness program for them. And, once again, you can do all of these types of meetings with people through telehealth. So you've just got to make sure your technology is as up to date as possible. So your workflow is streamlined and then everybody's on board with things.
Many times the solution you want is in your system already. So you want to take advantage also of the training and the support that your vendors offer you, because you're not the first person trying to do this per se. So you may be a different model, but there's probably a solution in your system and you don't need to even ask for like an update or anything. It's just there.
But if presented with the opportunity to try out a new feature, to pilot a new feature, go for it. Don't be afraid to do that. I'm having so much fun here at DrFirst with some of our system vendors that are piloting new technology that we have. And the pharmacies that are working with us are so helpful and so friendly. Don't hesitate. Try new things, because, you're helping to build something new. You're helping to advance pharmacy. So jump on board if presented with an opportunity to try out a new feature that a system vendor is looking to roll out.
I think that's great advice. Really. I mean, I think that's fantastic advice, because I think pharmacists too oftentimes will sit back and like, oh, I want to make sure this works before we try it. But, to Heidi's point, having the infrastructure in place so that you can act on these opportunities when they occur. So using, medication synchronization opportunities, and really looking at how can we batch our workflow. We know that we do certain things on Mondays to prepare for the week. Maybe Fridays are packing and delivery days. Well, okay, so then I'm only going to do the appointment-based model and see patients for this cash pay or whatever, this clinical service thing on Tuesdays and Wednesdays. And so you're blocking your time and using the features like with the appointment scheduling feature to really be more intentional. Because I know when I was working in an independent pharmacy, it was really like, I had no idea how the day was going to go. It was like you just show up and then put out fires until the end of the day. There wasn't a lot of planning around infrastructure and workflow. So I love that, what Heidi just said too, about being open to being the first.